Hey guys, this is Jesse. I wanted to do a video on the discussion of Watts versus Inzektors and windups, mostly Inzektors. Um, Basically, Watts get fucked up by Inzektors. Um, there's right now with I use my deck for now, for example, my personal build. Um, I'd be pretty fucked against Inzektors game one unless I drew the warnings, the cancel. Um, yeah, unless I drew those things, I'm pretty much fucked. Because as soon as they get off, because I can't necessarily kill Armageddonite or stop it. I can't stop a Foolish, really, with Solemn Judgment. So as soon as they drop Dragonfly, Hornet, and start popping stuff, there's really nothing that I can do about it. Oh, there's Fiendish Chain also. If I have Fiendish Chain, I can hold off for a little while. But if I don't, that's only, what, 4 or 5 cards in the deck. If I don't have those cards, Inzektors are just going to fuck my shit up. There's really nothing that I can do about it right now. Even with the theory that I have for stopping Inzektors, which is by not summoning or setting anything until you have the nuts in your hand, since they swarm and search by popping your stuff first, there's still really nothing that you can do about it. Because there isn't anything main decked except for those things. And most people don't main deck Fiendish Chains, so there's really nothing you can do about it. I've heard some theories, and I have thought about those theories also. One of those theories is using the Watt lock mostly in the format right now after Inzektors are come out. When they're TCG. The problem with that is that you're not always going to have the means to make the Watt lock, the hopper lock, within the first couple turns, and that's when you have to do it. You have to do it within 2 to 3 turns. You kind of have to do it within 2 turns. If you don't do it within 2 turns, you're not going to get it. And then if you have any back row, they're just going to swarm on you, and they're going to go Trish, because they can go Trish so easily, no problem. And that's another problem. They're going to use Hornet to pop your warning, and they're going to bounce something for Birdman, and they're going to go Trishula on you. And there's really not much that you can do about it. You can main deck Veilers, but the problem is that Veiler isn't good against other matchups because you can Veiler a Trishula, but it's still going to beat you down. So that's one of the biggest problems. You're going to draw a Veiler too early in the game without the Wattlock. You're going to Veiler a Dragonfly. It's going to be okay for a turn, but if it has the Dragonfly equipped to it, it can still pop something anyway, and it also, with the Dragonfly equipped to it, it can still run over your Watt monsters at 1500 attack. So it's just a really messed up matchup. Even if you main deck Macrocosmos, the problem with Macrocosmos is that it doesn't protect you from anything. It stops plays and slows down graveyards, but it doesn't protect you at all. People will still run you over. And also, Inzektors can still go Trishula and then Levair to get anything that they lost right back. So it's a really messed up matchup, and Watts are not consistent enough to be able to handle the speed and consistency of Inzektors simply because there's 3 Hornets, and that's just messed up. You'd have to main deck things like Macrocosmos or Chain Disappearance, which you can't because they don't protect you from other decks at all. So it's just not a good idea in my opinion, and it's a really messed up matchup, and there's really nothing that you can do about it right now. That's why I mentioned I'm just going to put down Watts until Inzektors are under control, or there's something that you can control them with, that you can actually get in the deck. So unfortunately, there's the Watt matchup versus Inzektors. The Watts, they lose. There's very little you can do about it. So if I were to take, especially since Inzektors they're rare and common and super, which I think is really stupid, but everybody's going to have Inzektors. And then you're going to have stuff main decked to beat Inzektors game 1, and then you're going to duel Agents or Plant Synchro and get wrecked because you have main deck things in for Inzektors, and you're going to get wrecked first game plants and then have to side in. And it's already a really tough matchup, so it's just difficult right now with Inzektors coming out. And windups will, take all the crap out of your hand, and you're not fast enough to, remove stuff from their grave or run a bunch of monsters over, so that's going to deplete your hand no problem. It's another issue. So that's the problem with the Watt Inzektor matchup, and it sucks, and I wish there was something that can be done about it, but unfortunately not right now. That's why I'm going to focus on Chain Burn, because Chain Burn wrecks Inzektors crazy hard. There's not much they can do about it until game 2, when they side and decrease, if they can side and decrease, in which case I'll have MSTs. But anyway, that's my take on Watts versus Inzektors. It's unfortunately Watts cannot beat Inzektors. They're too fast. They're too consistent, and they blow everything up. That's the worst thing that can happen to Watts, is something blowing all your stuff up. That's why Gladiator Beasts wreck Watts, because they attack and then blow all your crap up. But anyway, that's the only video I wanted to make today, is why I'm going to put down Watts for now, is because Inzektors, and why the Watts kind of pretty much suck and are helpless against Inzektors. If anyone has another opinion or any ideas I'm not thinking of that can really help against Inzektors that I didn't mention, such thing, I mentioned Macrocosmos, I mentioned the lock. If there is anything I didn't mention that you can consistently use against Inzektors, maybe a tech that I'm missing about or didn't think of, let me know down below, or a comment, or send me a message if you want to discuss something. Other than that, that's all I had for right now, and thank you for watching.